Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We are playing All Quiet in the Trenches. We are doing our hard mode playthrough, and we, of course, have gone and set ourselves the even harder challenge of not letting one single soldier die or be lost to any form or means. So, we just done the first battle where we retreated, and now we're back at camp. The explosions, gunshots and screams still echoed in my ears. We had only been fighting for a few minutes, and yet it felt as if years had passed since this morning, and everyday life back home a lifetime away. To be in the camp now, safely far behind the front, was surreal. The light-hearted chirping of the birds almost drowned out the dull rumble of the front and the cries of pain from the field hospital, where we had taken Pedersen. My people lay down exhausted on the grass, surrounded by the boxes of ammunition and equipment we had saved. Dirty and bloodied, some still pale and trembling. But soon the angry voice of the lieutenant in the distance abruptly broke the supposed peace, even before we could see him coming towards us amidst the tents. Herr Lieutenant? I'm not going to push my soldiers, they're in a bad mood. I greeted him uncertainly. Lieutenant von Karsburg looked down contemptuously at my people, most of whom were still sitting or lying on the ground, but seeing the ample supply of ammunition seemed to appease him. Good job, Herr Officer, he forced out against his visibly blazing anger. Not that it was a difficult task, but apparently with this bunch of slobs you have to be happy if anyone shows even a modicum of competency. Our troops were in the best position for a counterattack, but no, the reserve was too cowardly to take advantage of this unique opportunity we had prepared for them. The lieutenant rumbled without prompting, and now the Herr Major accuses me, us, of having abandoned the trench line unnecessarily. A disgrace. Henceforth we will hold the line, come what may. I'm gonna say yes, Herr Lieutenant. Might annoy my troops, I hope not. Lieutenant von Karsburg nodded contentedly. Set up camp, Herr Officer. Sooner or later we'll get our chance to pay back the French. He ordered and left us to take out his displeasure on others. I don't think... No, we're still in a bad mood, that's fair. We do have high prestige though, and like I said, I'm hoping that if I can maintain high prestige, I will get less jobs. I think I might need to be very high prestige. That's what I'm hoping, because the less jobs, as I mentioned in the first episode, less people I have to dot around, and so therefore less people I lose to just random acts, basically. So, people want to speak to me. Let's go see who we got. Ah, you're Pedersen's Unterofficer. I'm Sister Elizabeth Ritter. I organize our small field hospital here. Don't worry, Pedersen is doing pretty well. He will soon recover from his wound. I'm honestly glad you were overwhelmed so quickly. The shorter a skirmish, the fewer dead and wounded. Defeat is good? As far as I'm concerned, certainly yes. London can throw a fit about losing the trench line all he wants. But I'm content without being overburdened and nobody dying under my care. Just because we don't have enough time for proper treatment. Okay. There are some people in this camp who believe that the war will be decided right here. Complete nonsense. They want fame and glory. As a nurse, I know. There's only agony and death to be won here. Well, that was that quick conversation. Two of my guys are exhausted. One of them I'm pretty sure is going to be close enough to exhausted. Welcome to the camp, Herr Officer. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Anton Zielinski, your field cook. I'm afraid I can't cook anything for you right now, though, as your squad hasn't been allocated supplies yet. Better contact Field Intendant Hennick. He is responsible for your supplies. Keep going round. Field Intendant Hennick. You're the new group's Unterofficer, right? Field Intendant Hennick, responsible for supplying the troops. I'll allocate some supplies to your group immediately. This should last you until the next supply shipment. Talk to me if you need anything. Here's to good cooperation, Herr Unterofficer. We'll leave it at that for now. Like I said, we'll go around and see what all the immediate things I have to do, and then we'll see if we're going to volunteer for anything extra. What size ration should I give your people? If you want to do something good for them, then I would suggest double rations. Definitely double rations. I'm currently serving the men regular issue rations. My heart aches at the thought, but given the state of our supply, lower rations might be in order until... But we've got good rations, haven't we? He just delivered... How do I have low food supplies? He just delivered my food. This is strange. Is that a bug? That can't be right. That can't be right at all. Well, nobody else wants to speak to me, which is good. He's not giving me any extra duties. Maybe because I'm in high prestige. The storage is slowly emptying, but there's still enough for you to get some extra if you need it. Accept. Send someone over to pick it up. Done. Lieutenant Carsbrook disapproves. Does he really now? So we're going to send one guy to do that. It's not a tiring task. So in that note, we will send one of our exhausted guys. It will hopefully get me back up to good supplies so I can start giving double rations. Because, like I said, yeah, he's just gone and delivered all of my food supply, and yet I don't have any food. A bit weird. Delay will have consequences. Well, let's see how much of a camp we can get set up with 2 people. And let's keep ticking forward. When I met Elmar Fram, I was relieved. According to his files, he could also have been a doctor in the military hospital, and I had expected corresponding frustration and disapproval from him. But he seemed relaxed and composed about his appointment to simple soldiering. It takes me out of my work, he admitted, but those few months... He shrugged his shoulders. Yeah, sure. Yeah, be long now. He nodded, probably not expecting anything else. Very good, he said. In a few months' time in Vienna, the annual conference of the Wednesday Psychological Society takes place, of which I am a member. They will be expecting me at that date. All the distinguished experts will be there. Sauntering as if we were on a promenade, he went on his way. However, whether he would really be back home in a few months remained unclear. Alma Fram. Ah, yeah, that guy. Continue. He's actually... I thought I'd gotten a new soldier. I was going to be very happy. I do have a new soldier, though. Who did I just... Ah, Linnock! We love Linnock. He's a great guy. Where is he? Wellinger, how can we help? The latrine is... of course it is. Hey, Linnock! We've got a latrine! Peter Linnock, I'm supposed to report to you. If you need something done, I'm happy to help. Don't tell me we have rats as well. Your men are exhausted. Yes, definitely give them double rations. That's why we went and did this. Now I'm sure, yep, you're slacking off. Don't disappoint me. Leave. Of course, he's got a job for me now because I'm down to average prestige. Organize some patrols through the night. We still need to set up camp. And I'm going to lose 2 to patrolling the village. Oh, what else have we got? Bonjour, monsieur. You are Herr Under-Officer, whose people pitched their tents right there at the camp entrance. Well, actually, they haven't been pitched yet. My name is Marianne Laroche. I am one of the village elders in our community. Since I can speak German, I try my best to mediate between the residents of the village and the soldiers here in the camp. Alright, so... Now, the morale is getting pretty low. Very sociable, fairly compassionate. Very sociable, somewhat jaded, so we won't be sending you. You're very distant. Linnock is very sociable, but no, right. So, Wellinger will be going on patrol. As... see, Linnock would be a good choice too, but... Need someone to clean out that train, and Linnock's the guy! Linnock's always the guy. I'd love to get Pedersen back in the squad. Maybe the double rations will have a good effect on everybody. Doing this patrol, so we're obviously not going to volunteer for any more work again. You two, I suppose. Let's go next turn. Hopefully we get through this quite nicely. The lieutenant had demanded that I accompany the patrols to the village personally to make sure that everything was in order. When Wellinger and I arrived, the mood in the village was even more brooding than usual. The villagers were sullen, and no wonder. Madame LaRoche had told us that they'd recently received dire news. 2 of their men had been killed in battle. The women fell silent when they saw us, with no more than cold, angry looks for a greeting. What few children were out playing did little more than listlessly kicking an empty tin around. The mood seemed to affect Wellinger as well. Compassion crept into his eyes and he slowed his steps. He reached into his pocket and produced a little block of chocolate. I followed his uncertain gaze over to the children. I will encourage him. Go on, I told him. Go over to them. Wellinger didn't hesitate and wandered over to the kids. When he held out the hand with the chocolate, curiosity drew them nearer. But the gathered women quickly called their children back before they could take a piece. When the mothers cast us dark looks and hissed something in French that made it quite clear that it was time for us to move on. Ah, that's sad. Trying to be friendly, you know? Nice! Camp is built. Double rations added. Love it. Fairly compassionate added. Oh, sweet, cool. Oh, negative events. That's a shame. Changed to lightly wounded, so he's back with me. Changed just down to tired. That's good. Negative events have increased. Low supply stock added. That's unfortunate. Pedersen, how are you doing? Feeling a lot better. Let's see who wishes to speak to me. The Major ordered the start of the offensive this morning. Unfortunately, we don't get a chance to win fame and honor just yet. We're in reserve for the time being. Make sure your men are ready to move out at all times. After all, we don't want to disappoint the Major once it's finally our turn. Then, of course, he'll have a job for me. The field laundry. You know, we're responsible for keeping the uniforms clean by themselves. Anything else? Do you have a minute? We need your help with something here in the hospital. Feeling this might be grave digging duty. Thank you for taking the time, Herr and Officer. Mr. Elizabeth seemed tense, even though the field hospital did not seem too crowded at the moment. Please follow me, she motioned, and led me past the hospital towards a barren patch of land with a series of shallow ditches dug in a line. Graves. I heard there's a new offensive coming. Elizabeth paused and turned towards me with dire seriousness in her eyes and pointed towards the graves. Well, we're going to need a lot more of those. Do you think you could spare some of your men to dig more of them? I'll see what I can do. But I can't promise anything. Thank you, Herr and Officer. That's all I ask. I know you're in a difficult position, and I don't mean to make it any harder on you. With those words, she turned away to hurry back to the field hospital. An extremely depressing job. Will fail if not done this turn. So I'd like to have my guys resting. But, I'm not sure how well we can do that. Let's see if I can boost anybody's morale. I don't think I have a ward, do I? Of course, I don't mind getting more food, I just hope the others won't feel shortchanged. Origin. More about Origin. I live with my parents, go to work every day, and then I always have a beer. I'm satisfied. Everything is quite simple at home. This industrialization, can't say it's very noticeable there. Well, there is the train, but otherwise, dunno. I don't know what else to say at this moment. Mild boosts to morale. You need a break. I'm completely spent. Yes, I get that. I'm gonna give everybody bigger rations. Grab. Everybody's a little bit rejected. Oh, the bad mood was removed. We're back up to neutral. That's good. Positive events have been added. There's one guy that they haven't been added for. Who have I not found? Male? Oh, I found that guy. Wellinger? Found him. This guy. Linnick. Where are you hiding yourself? Regardless how much I wash and scrub, I still reek of the latrine. I'm actually not going to grant you any positive boons. All of these guys' morale is really low. There's average prestige laundry duty. Delay will have consequences. You know, take up the space of one who might survive. One can get used to the ever-present suffering. Those who can laugh among the dying unconcerned have a lost burden, but maybe not just that. So we're going to give you that and to you. And yeah, you guys have to rest. I would like to take an extra duty off von Karlsbruck to maybe boost that prestige back up, but I might have to be doing the prestige off the battles a bit more. Edison had been getting drunk all evening with some of his comrades. It was already late when all of a sudden he bellowed into the crowd, "Zol bollocks! How much longer we're supposed to croak here in the mud for this bloody war?" Soldiers around him fell silent. Some looked over at me. It was my job to be there for him. I got up, sat down next to him, and said to him, "Soldier, you mustn't lose heart. We need you here just as much as any of your comrades. Sleep it off, and tomorrow the world will already look brighter again." "You're right," he mumbled, and then staggered into his tent. After a while, the other soldiers resumed their conversations, and soon they too retreated to their tents. Nice, I think we won that one. Morale should hopefully go up. "All gone," sighed the man on the table. On the other side of the table, taking the last sip of liquor. He was also an under-officer. His group was camped next to ours, and our men often spent their free time together. A rat infestation had destroyed the group's food stash almost completely. "I know you have to look out for yourselves too, but..." He visibly shrugged to get the next sentence out. "Could you and your group perhaps give us some supplies? Our own camp was adequately filled at the moment, but it was certainly not set up to supply double the amount of men." Yes, we will, because then he will return the favor later on when we need it. So, we will bank that return favor now. Infinite relief was written on his face and posture, even though shame was still visibly weighing on him. He thanked me with few words, but notably from the bottom of his heart, and promised to repay me appropriately for this generous act in the future. Like I said, bank that one for the future. Sunday, April 11th. One day, Bram was supposed to receive an exceptionally large Liebesgabe, which is gifts of love, donated from the people all over the Empire. This particular parcel contained a generic letter of encouragement and quite a few cans of food. This ought to make him happy. I'm going to let him do with it what he chooses. I would suggest he shares it, but... He was virtually beaming with joy when he opened the package and brought its contents to light. However, he then hastily packed it away again and stowed the new private supply in his tent. Well, we'll remember this, Fran. Somebody's getting latrine duty. Madame Laroche, the speaker of the nearby French village, greeted me with some reservation and quickly cut to the chase of why she'd come to meet me. "Your cannons have been thundering day and night, and the villagers are scared," she explained. "Especially the younger children are suffering." It was only in that moment that it occurred to me that our artillery truly had been firing almost non-stop for some time now. Of course, the distant, if constant, grumbling paled in comparison to the actual impacts we faced on the battlefield, and I had long learned to put the noise out of my mind. Or perhaps my hearing had just gotten that bad. "Do you perhaps know how long this will continue?" Madame Laroche asked carefully. I'm going to go for the "until the Major says so." "Until the Major decides it's been enough," I commented with a shrug. After all, we had to live with the noise just like they did, and no one bothered to notify us about these things. Madame Roche frowned at my dismissive reply. "Let's hope that time will come soon," she sighed. With that, she said her brief goodbyes, turned, and walked away. Oh, we still have laundry duty. Okay. Double rations added. Pub visit added. When did you guys get to the pub? But, hey, congratulations. That would be... Oh, we've got another soldier. Fantastic. Soldier... Oh, wants to visit the local pub. Got it. I love it. So we get a new soldier, and he immediately goes from happy to strained just from turning up. That's something I think needs to be changed in this, to be honest. because I don't know how wandering into camp gets them tired. It's like they get to the average level of my squad tired. Faltering removed. Fantastic. Positive events increased. Changed down to strained. That's good. He went up to strange. Low food supplies and changed to strange. Strained. Neutral mood and average prestige. Let's see who wants what. Ah, there you are, Helmet Officer. Wilhelm Schmidbauer, I have been assigned to your group. You and me will show these youngsters what the old guard is made of, won't we? Family. I got married as soon as I received my first salary. I just don't know what my wife is doing home all alone now without me. She doesn't have anything to do all day. As a teacher, I spent enough time with children already. I'm glad that I don't have any brats running around at home that I have to keep in check. I don't know what else to say about this at this moment. Okay. Well, we'll leave it at that. And he is... Oh, he's inattentive. That's not good. He is on double rations. He's very intolerant, very outspoken, very distant, completely by the book, and very patriotic. Wow. He's a hell of a character. We still haven't been resupplied. Let's hope it won't take too long. Who else have we got that wants something? Of course, von Karlsbruck. We've got to guard some prisoners. Until then, it is my responsibility. And supplies are running low. I would love to give them more, but as long as supply situation remains uncertain, I will only serve standard ration. I will not go lower. Who else wants something? There's a pub in the village, Herr Under Officer. Pedersen and I would like to visit with your permission. And that is that. Right, well, I do have to lose 3 people to duties. Edison and... who again? Thank God. Who are you? Where are you in the corner? You were... Linux, was that you? Are you wanting... You were wanting the pub visit? Yes, you were. And he has a lot of negative events, so yeah, he needs to go. Ah, it does show here, actually. You two can definitely go to the pub. That is a relaxing activity. I might send Wellinger with you, to be honest. And to guard the captives. You're very intolerant, so let's not send you. Now we're going to have you two guys. And so you get laundry duty. Yeah, well, he doesn't like laundry duty either, but tough. He's the new guy, he gets laundry duty. We're going to have some positive events on these guys. That will hopefully get Pedersen up to content. He's the only guy that's not... Oh, he's hidden and motivated. Everyone else is pretty much content. Oh no, he's motivated as well. He won't be after laundry duty, I can tell you that much. And yep, let's keep going forward. Like I said, I think for the prestige we're going to have to do it by getting the combat done really well. Because taking on extra duties here is a little bit difficult. But the mood is definitely improving. We've gone from bad, we're almost into a good mood. Might have a supply problem next turn. We'll see what happens. Lieutenant von Karlsbruck had just finished one of his inspections of our camp and was on his way to the next troop when Wellinger came up to me. He made sure that the lieutenant was no longer within earshot, then he nudged me with his elbow and gave me a crooked grin. How can you stay so serious when he's around? I couldn't do that. Such a posh aristocrat with his detached ideas of how things should be. He began to imitate one of the lieutenant's speeches about the importance of preserving the shine of our uniform buttons and then interrupted himself with an amused snort. I will stay quiet. I didn't say anything. Wellinger continued to joke around for a moment, but soon realized that I wasn't the right person for it. Then apologized and left. Caspar Pedersen caught my eye at dinner. He was stirring listlessly in the stew and kept peering into the other's bowls. After dinner, he complained to Zelensky that there had not been enough meat in his portion. Leave the man alone. You're going to complain? You complain to me. What do you think you're doing? I reprimanded him. Zelensky looked uncertainly back and forth between the two of us. Pedersen turned to me without haste. Meat is important, he simply said. That may be, but our supplies are limited. As German soldiers, we have to make do with what we have. But I am from Swelswig. We are Danes, Pedersen replied, as if that would change the situation. Now we're in the same boat. You're a soldier now, son! Now we're in the same boat, I said, and put my hand on his shoulder. I hope you see it that way. Pedersen nodded. It seemed a little mechanical, and I could tell he was still very unsure. It would certainly take time to gain his trust. In any case, he was very obviously aware that my conciliatory gesture did not change anything about his empty cookware. Now what? Wellinger came hurriedly towards me, clearly upset and with a blood-stained uniform. Herr Unterofficer, have you seen the sorry state of the field hospital? He asked, visibly aghast. I just helped carry one of the wounded who couldn't make it on his own to the field hospital. The injured are everywhere, and the beds are overflowing already. The nurses just told me to drop him off wherever, that they had no time to tend to him anyhow. I'd known with the intense fighting for the last few days that a lot of injured were passing through our camp. But to think that the state of the field hospital had already gotten so bad? Is there nothing to be done? The soldier pleaded with me. I will look into it. Never make promises, because you might not be able to keep them. The last thing the people at the field hospital need right now is more chaos and disorganized helpers getting in their way. Wellinger nodded and began nervously walking up and down the camp. I should probably talk to Elizabeth soon to see if we could help. Still on laundry duty. Neutral mood is going up. I think my prestige even dropped a tiny bit. Positive events added, negative events added. He doesn't like laundry duty. Negative events decreased, love it, and removed. That's a good turnaround for them. Changed. Okay, so he went from respectable to neutral. Changed to well-rested. Oh, fantastic. Positive events increased. Good recovery removed, I assume because he's better. Yep, lightly wounded removed. Changed to strained. Nice. Physically fit removed. Double rations removed. Positive events increased. Strained removed. Oh, nice. Changed from, contemptuous to neutral. Nice. That's a good one. Pub visit removed and hospital overburdened added. Don't tell me, the latrine! Yep. Of course that comes in at the exact time that the hospital is overburdened. The supply is slowly running low. I know we've given the men insufficient rations, but it could become necessary soon. I hope you can make sure that won't happen, Herr Unterofficer. Herr Unterofficer, your unit is tasked with guard duty. Okay. That is that for now. If I help the hospital, I will have nobody left. There's something we need to talk about. There's not a lot left in stock, but I'll see what I can spare for you. Von Karsbrook doesn't like it. But I'm not really going to be upping that prestige at this immediate point anyway. Field hospital, let's speak to the nurse. Don't have a lot of time for you, Herr Unterofficer. What do you need? I will offer some assistance. Wonderful, thank you. Right, so we have offered assistance. So, let's see what we've got. It was Wellinger, I believe, that came up to me and said we need to do something about the hospital situation, I think. I believe it was Wellinger. We'll stick you on that for now. Guard duty. Doesn't really make a difference who does it. Latrines. Linux, you're our guy. Laundry duty. Can be... yeah, it don't really matter who does what. There's no good or bad traits, so we'll simply stick you there. Guard duty. I mean, you're extremely patriotic, so I feel like you should love guard duty. And you can continue to rest, I think, male. Effects per assigned soldier, we're just going to stick one in there at the moment. I mean, I could send male to go and get more food. Admittedly, Let's see what I can spare for you. I mean, yeah, Von Karlsbrook doesn't like it, but... Fuck on Von Karlsbrook. We'll lose a bit of prestige, but we're still going to hopefully stay on average. So like I said, I think we're going to be looking at having to build that through combat. So that's everybody assigned. Nobody's resting. Let's push forward. See what we can do. Can't have my people going hungry. Mail, one of my men, had made no secret of his previous work as a master brewer since he joined our troop. He often seemed to be thinking about his family and their brewery at home. He told everyone, whether they wanted to hear it or not, about his plans after the war. It seemed to be my turn today, and he had been chatting away for a while. I let him talk. I don't mind. No, got nothing to do except read this diary. Or write this diary. I let him talk. It probably helped him, and it took his mind off things. No harm in holding on to the hope that he would soon be able to return to his normal life, I thought to myself. When some of his comrades joined in the conversation, I took my leave and returned to my own desk. Ooh, what do we got next? Mold everywhere, Zelensky commented as he held out an exemplary loaf of bread covered in green stains to me. I'll have to throw it away. I lowered my gaze anxiously to the basket of baked goods at his feet. We were both aware that this made up a not insignificant part of our reserve. Get rid of it. Better safe than sorry. Not risking my soldiers going down. Zelensky sighed heavily and nodded silently. We were both aware that sooner or later, days might come when we would gladly accept such rations. But not today, my friend. Not today. How we... Ooh, damn, I hit low prestige. That's going to be extra jobs. And we also hit... Why did my mood get worse? That's just... Changed to jaded. Oh, well, yeah, fair enough. Changed to hospital full, not very full. And of course, we've stuck on low food supplies. Even though I got more, simply because... Oh, what have I got covered in mold? Resupply came in, the shipment was smaller than I expected. I added some from my reserve to make up for the difference, so your soldiers won't starve. Don't squander it. Oh, nice. Got some food. Yep. That improves, you can expect extra work assignments. We have guard duty, and we have... Oh, is that it? Oh no, cool. We're going to an engagement in one turn. Who else needs what? We almost ran out. I'll only give out half rations for the time being before we end up in that kind of trouble again right away. Wait, so what now? Are you trying to tell me you're giving my people meager rations? Those poor men. I've got food. You give my men double, my friend. You don't give out these meager rations. How dare you? Okay, we are going to an engagement in one turn. Let's have a look at everybody. Okay, we've got two guys that are doing pretty well. I got one guy I need to put on laundry juice. That's 3. I mean, I could go up to 5, take an extra job. Try and get myself out of low prestige. Ask for more work. Are you really trying to suck up to me? Yes. Maybe you'll make a proper under-officer after all. Don't disappoint me. Digging trenches. Right, so. Guard duty. What I'm going to do, digging trenches. I'm going to send... Linux. Guard duty. I'm going to send you and Pedersen. And for laundry duty, I am going to send Wellinger. So Mail and Pram can still keep resting. I'll hopefully get back up to normal prestige. And we... low prestige removed already. Fantastic. Although I at least have to have one person doing the digging trenches, otherwise it will just ignore him. So yes, so that will help. Cool. So I'm back up at normal. Right, hopefully shouldn't get any extra duties. Although we're going to an engagement next turn, so let's get through this week. And go back to the front lines. We were preparing for the imminent operation a few days from now. The mood was tense enough, but it seemed to weigh particularly hard on Wellinger. When he had heard of our upcoming deployment, he turned pale and the fear had not left his eyes since. Is everything all right? I asked him carefully. Perhaps there was a way to help him handle the situation. He looked up and sighed deeply. To be honest, no, Herr Unterofficer. The thought of going to battle and possibly never returning. He gulped and lowered his gaze. I nodded. Every soldier knew this fear. Together we'll come through this. I promised. You and I and all our comrades will just have to watch out for one another. I think that'll work with Wellinger. With a faint smile, he glanced over towards the other men and seemed to find a glimmer of hope again. I will do what I can, he promised in return, and returned to his tasks, slightly less gloomy. Oh, we're back open again. We didn't get very far. When I faced Soldier Schmidbauer alone for the first time, he stood expectantly in front of me, impeccably adjusted. Your orders, Herr Unterofficer. You can count on me, he spoke clearly and devoid of humor. I liked his obvious meticulousness, as well as the respect he showed me. Very well, soldier, I said in an authoritative tone. Do not disappoint me. I won't, he said, then suddenly became a little more confidential in tone. You and I, we have to keep the group in line. I just left it at that. No encouragements, don't put him down. All right, I said, non-committal tone. Let's hope for the best. Schmidbauer didn't seem to be able to do much with his vague statement, but he nodded and then formally excused himself. To the front! I think that was about a week. Men, tomorrow we march to battle, announced Lieutenant von Karlsburg. He had summoned all his subordinate non-commissioned officers to discuss the upcoming operation. Their fear of what might come was clearly palpable, but most of them did their best to cover it up with their heads held high and chests puffed up with pride. The goal of our mission is to conquer and hold the next trench line. The lieutenant explained the plan. So far, there was no difference to most attack plans, but we have an ace up our sleeve. Our artillery is in position, just waiting to cut off reinforcements from the enemy. I expect you to use this advantage aggressively and decisively. Do not disappoint me. At your command, Lieutenant, the officers around me expressed, with varying degrees of enthusiasm. I will join in. Gotta suck up to the boss. The lieutenant nodded, satisfied, saluted, and dismissed. Gotta suck up to the boss. Oh, our neutral mood has gone down. But we're still on average prestige. Positive events decreased twice, which is a bit annoying. Positive events removed. Meager rations added. See, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Belinsky, I want words. I can't give you a second serving. Pot is empty to the last speck. Sadly, it wasn't particularly full from the start. Why do you say I have meager rations? I have plenty of food. That's just annoying me now. Negative events decreased. Well, that's at least good. Changed down to tired. That's good as well. Positive events removed. Tired added. So I think in general, working power, combat strength, and morale always adjust quickly to the size of rations. Yes. Yes, they do. So with that, I mean, everybody's at least, I think, content. It would be nice, and I believe this was mentioned on the Discord forums, be able to see just an overview of all of your soldiers. Would be quite nice. Which I think is something they might be looking at. Relation respectful. What do you think? How long till we march into Paris? I think it'll be before Christmas. The war will always be over by Christmas. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and click to the next level. And we are, of course, going to leave the episode there. As I said at the end of the last episode, this is why I didn't jump into this then. That did take a little bit longer than usual, but that is perfectly fine. That is, I believe, pretty much the longest segment in the current available game. But we got through it. We're doing quite well. We've average prestige and mood. Everybody's in a fairly good condition, so it's time to go into a battle. Try not to get anybody injured is the most important part, so I can go back with 6 healthy troops ready to start taking on all of the jobs that von Karlsburg is going to give us. But until then, as for always, stay safe, stay happy, and stay healthy.